Yo, so like this is the last video for this day, so like I'm going to share with you some realizations that I just got, regarding like humans mortality, and like actually like everything, because look at it, you would think that like basically that's how it looks, that death is something real. I mean, considering that a lot of people now know that it's just an illusion, but they can't really touch on how it is an illusion. How is it creating this elusive experience? The reason is because once you die from an experience, you can never come back to an experience the very same way it was, or the very same way it was. You understand? So, technically, everything is energy. The energy is still going to exist. It's still going to flow. It still has to go somewhere. You feel me? So, if that energy wasn't complete on this realm of reality, unlike, let me say, if you were a human, or if you were a god, or if you were anything else, and then you couldn't fulfill like the purpose that you had to fulfill, then you have to understand that you will have to come back to fulfill that purpose so that you can move onto a higher dimensional reality. You understand? Or a lower dimension. It just depends on what your purpose is, for this incarnation, for this present incarnation. So if you are a human, 9 times out of 10, your purpose is to become more than a human in the next incarnation. You understand? It can't be to become less than a human. But if you are still an insect, if you're still an insect, and you see insect and stuff like that, they have a very short lifespan. You understand? So they still have a lot of time to play. They still have a lot of time to play, and they still have a lot of time to learn. You understand? Just like in kindergarten, before even school starts, as kids, we have a lot of time to play, and we have a lot of time to, it's equal time to play and equal time to work, learn, stuff like that. But once you become a human, then you are almost into the God level, like, I don't want you to think like gods are nothing. You understand? Gods, like, there are levels to this God thing. You understand? So the God that we are following is only it's the God that we are following is the biggest, or like the broadest perspective, or like the clearest image that we have. You understand? Of what we have to be when we transition from being human. You understand? But that's not the end of it. We are still going to be more. You understand? So we are complete as we are. Even ants, the spirit that is ants. Remember, when it comes to things that walk in groups and stuff like that, even when you see humans walking in a group or being a cult and stuff like that, just know that these humans are one spirit. All of them are one spirit. You understand? If you see ants moving, like when it comes to even animals and stuff like that, animals that move in one unit are one soul. You understand? They don't have individual souls. But when it comes to human, there are humans who have their individual soul, and those humans 9 times out of 10 they come from like a higher dimensional level of consciousness, which means like they were either a planetary species, or they were either a universal species, or they are either a god-like species. You understand? So I always tell people like I believe that I was a god-like species before I dropped here. You understand? Because I could say that I'm a fallen angel, isn't like not like what the religion books tell you about fallen angels. I'm talking about like a consciousness that fell into a lower level of reality, to learn. So when we are here on this lower level of reality, it's like looking through a microscope, you understand, to see the big picture, So I came here to see the bigger picture and say, okay, that's exactly what I wanted to be. So if I didn't come back as a human, I couldn't have this realization that I was a god, you understand? Not even an angel. Darius was a god, you understand? So if you can, like, you don't even have to agree with me, as long as you haven't had this experience, as long as you haven't experienced the things that I've experienced, as long as you haven't felt like how I felt in my life, then you don't understand nothing. All you can do is just absorb this information or disregard it, that's all. But I'm telling you my experience, maybe, and I know that at least there's someone out there who's completely lost at this point, and they don't even know that they are God, because once you get this realization, you're gonna people are gonna start feeling that energy. They're gonna start looking at you differently. You understand? Because now this inner expression that you had, you are taking it out of. That's what we are here for. Once we take out that inner expression and show it to the outer world, then a lot of gods who have lost their path can now find who they really are. And those who don't know what a god even is, they think a god is something that is there with a beard and stuff like that, who've been reincarnating here so many times that they don't even know who they are anymore. They don't even know who they were, type shit. So we as gods, we sort of like shrink for this purpose, you understand? We shrink our consciousness for this specific purpose, you understand? So that we can remind other gods that, hey guy, hey so and so, you didn't come here to reincarnate with these people. They are still learning. You came here to remind them that this is like they shouldn't be caught up in this loop, you understand? They always should be able to transform and transcend, because a lot of people are so trapped into the matrix that they don't even believe that transformation is real, you understand? So we are here to remind those people that no, it is not about religion. As much as religion is a good thing, as much as everything else is a good thing, don't dive too deep into these things, because you're gonna lose yourself. You just had to take certain things and then move away from them, you understand? You shouldn't be indoctrinated into these concepts, because they are not who you are. They don't even know your purpose. They are not aligned with your purpose. So how will they, you are going to be caught up in a loop until your soul decides to leave your body. You understand? Until your soul decides to leave your body. And once your soul decides to leave the body, it's going to find another body. But if you connect with your soul and then move with it, then you will know that you don't need another body. You don't need any other truth. You just need to get what you needed to get and then move. You understand? So, for example, me, I have those times where I feel like life has no purpose. You feel me? But once I look at, once I acknowledge, and every time I get into this thought, I happen to acknowledge how much power I actually have. You understand? Something just reminds me how much power I actually have. And then, boom, I'm back in my vibration. You understand? Because that's where I am. That's where I'm at. You understand? I can never go lower than that. If I go lower than that, then I'm going to die. Like physically, I'm going to die and then go lower than that. You understand? And if I have to be higher than that, then I can execute that in my body. You understand? With this vessel, this physical body that I'm in, and then I can execute that. And when like I've received more than I came for, that's when I'm going to decide to make this transition, because consuming too much light again is going to cause me to come back, to remind myself what it is that I consume more. You understand? It's like going back to the doctor. Like it's like you are your own doctor. You understand? And every time you do more or less of something, you have to go back and consult yourself until you become okay. You understand? With the state of being, like if like when I say until you become okay, being okay means that you are in the state of being that you were aiming for. You understand? So for example, I was a god, so like immediately, by knowing that, I now know that in my previous life I was probably a human or other intelligent beings, right? And I opted to be a god. But when I reached that level, I didn't have enough consciousness, so I was in a rush to get there. So now I'm here to absorb that consciousness, that knowledge, that light, so that when I get there, I know the next logical step to do. You understand? I know the next logical step to do. And then I will be at the state of being. And once I become comfortable at the state of being a god, I'm going to ascend higher than the god. You understand? Because there are gods that are higher than the god that we worship. The God that is guiding us. There are gods that are higher than him, or them, or it, or whatever. So once you reach this, at least once you reach this human level of understanding, then you will be able to find your purpose. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for this video, man. Oh, I could go all day, all night on this one. So yeah, guys, I'll see you on the next one, man. Bam.